Hi everybody, I'm excited to show you guys a new release product from Mr. Simon Hurley. And we're going to start off by showing you some colors. So if you're not familiar, Simon Hurley does have his own ink pad collection. And I just want to talk about these colors here. So we have Bee Sting, which is a nice deep red. Traffic Cone, which is a bright orange. Look, it almost matches my nails. We have Slippery When Wet, which is a golden yellow. Later Gator is a nice bright green. And Clear Skies, which is a nice light blue. Well, Simon Hurley has now added to his collection Lunar Paste in those same colors. So there are 5 colors to start this collection. I'm assuming he's going to add more. And you guys are going to say, what is Lunar Paste? Well, Lunar Paste is out of this world, you guys. You're going to see that there are some cool things we can do with this Lunar Paste. So I'm sure you guys are familiar with texture paste. Basically, texture paste is just a thicker, think of it like a paint, but it's super thick. They are wonderful metallic pearlescent colors here. They almost look like foil when you put them down on paper. I'm going to show you those. These are 2-ounce jars. And the first thing I noticed when I got them, besides the pretty nice size jar, is I did compare them to some other pastes that I already have. These don't smell weird. You guys know I'm pretty sensitive to smells, and some of the other ones smell toxic. These are not that bad. I mean, there's a slight smell, but it's not, I mean, unless you really stick your nose in the jar, which I almost just did, you're not going to get a weird smell. It's not toxic smelling. It doesn't smell like glue. Basically, you're not going to get high off of it. Sorry, that's not what art supplies are for, you guys. So, let's play with them. So there are 5 colors, and as I said before, we have Bee Sting, Traffic Cone, Slippery When Wet, Later Gator, and Clear Skies. Now, these are available over at scrapbook.com and also at rangerink.com. I did swatch them out so you guys could see them. And you can see once it dries, there is that pearlescent shine in there. So again, Bee Sting, Traffic Cone, Slippery When Wet, Later Gator, and Clear Skies. And the first thing I want to tell you guys is it's mixable. So you can see right there, I took a little of the Bee Sting and the Clear Skies and I mixed them together, as you can see on my little table here, and they are mixable, and I made this purple. Now I just did this, so it's going to be a little bit before that dries, so we'll give that a few moments. The other thing you guys can do with these is you can paint with them. So I have that leftover, oops, that just flipped over on my desk. I have that leftover paste right here on the desk, and this is water soluble, so while it's still wet or damp, hasn't dried yet. That's the other thing I will tell you guys, is it's really not too difficult to clean this texture paste up. Some texture paste, if you don't get to it right away, is really hard to clean up. This isn't too bad. All right, so I'm just going to take a little paintbrush and some water. And just turn this paste into a paint. So obviously, the more water I add, the more it's going to dilute that color. But it is going to dry with that shimmer in there. So that's if I leave it sort of thick, almost like an acrylic paint. Goes down with a brush very easily. Or let's add a lot more water to this. As I add more water, you can see it starts to dilute the paste down. And we get more of a looser paint, almost like a watercolor. I guess if you kept adding water, you could get it to watercolor consistency. It would be very sheer, very translucent, but you would still get that shimmer quality. It would just be very sheer and translucent. You wouldn't get as much of the tint as you would if you did it a little thicker. So there you can see the difference there. So you can obviously use it with a palette knife through a stencil, or you can use it with a brush and water it down. And as that dries, you will not lose any of that shimmery goodness. And again, pretty easy to clean up. I'm just using a Clorox wipe here to clean this up. That's it. Now, if you are going to use this through a stencil, I would recommend using a little bit of pixie spray on the back of your stencil so that it will hold your stencil down so you don't have to worry about any of that paste getting underneath and going behind the stencil. I'm just going to clean up my paintbrush here. Very easy to do. But for those of you that are into mixed media, I know that kind of like 3D painting is a big thing, or acrylic painting now, where they're making florals and things out of the paste. You can try that. I have a little gel plate here. Let's play with this. This is a round gel plate. I'm just going to stick it to my mat here. Okay, and let's say I wanted to put some of that paste down. And a little bit goes a long way. I'm just going to take my brayer and pick some of that up. May not have had enough paste there. And roll that onto my gel plate. And again, we're getting a lot of pearlescent shine with this. Okay, and then if you have tools to use with your gel plate, you can certainly bring those in. Have a little bit of bubble wrap. And I'm just going to bring in some cardstock. I have some here that I've already been playing with. Now we have this, oh, it's hard to see on this paper, but we have a circle of shimmery blue Lunar Paste with the squiggles in there, with the dots in there. There you can see the shine picked up. I thought it was me a little darker, but it is a little translucent. Let's try that again. Let's find a piece of paper that has not been used. Go a little different color this time. Now I would recommend, because these are texture pastes, to keep your lids on them. I will be putting some plastic wrap on my lids just to make sure that I keep them nice and soft and they don't dry out. Only time will tell, but I would recommend that. And again, so I brayer this on. What if we tried stamping with it? Remember that wonderful stamping foam? Well, here I took a hot foil die and I stamped this little seahorse in it. We're going to have to try stamping with it. Let's try that. I mean, if it worked on the gel plate, it should work on the stamping foam. There we go. Obviously, more paste would have made that a darker impression. Now let's our little mixed media gel plate here. See how that works out. Obviously, you can brayer it on. There's a lot of sparkle in here. Very pretty. Okay, so obviously gel print plates, stamping foam, through stencils. What else can we try doing with this? Let me clean this up. It's mixable. You can paint with it. So a lot of cool uses for this. Price-wise, the price is pretty reasonable as well. As you guys know, I just did a video on some paste that I got. And for the same 2-ounce jar from another company for the same kind of metallic goodness and some other colors, so you can mix and match this with some pastes if you already have them. This is not the same as some of the other pastes you might have in terms of colors, but those pastes were $6.29 for 2 ounces on scrapbook.com, and the Lunar Paste is, as of today, $5.39 for a 2-ounce jar. If you go to rangerink.com, they are $5.99. So they're within the realm of what everyone else is charging for their paste for the same 2-ounce jar. Actually, a little bit less, almost $1 less on scrapbook.com. All right, and you can see it's pretty easy cleanup. I just spray some water down, wipe it away. Cleans up pretty easily. All right, what else can we do with it? Oh, I think somebody's going to ask about, can you add glitter to it, and what happens if you heat it up? Because somebody always asks that, right? So let's just take the same piece of paper here. We'll go in with some of this Slippery When Wet, which is a beautiful gold color. This will be great at Christmas time. It's a golden yellow color. Not like a brassy kind of gold. It's very pretty, very warm. So there you can see how it goes on when you're going through a stencil. Again, I just wipe my palette knife off. And then take your stencil off, and you'll want to go clean that up with some soap and water. I will clean that up in just a moment. So can you heat it? The answer is yes. I suspect it's going to bubble up. So it is better to let this air dry, but let's heat it up and see what happens. Okay, I was trying to be pretty delicate with drying it there, but you can see it does dry a little faster if you put some heat on it. Those are the thinner areas. The thicker areas are not dry yet. Let's see if we can make it bubble. So again, if you are into mixed media and getting different looks, if you put too much heat to it, it will start to blister and bubble up. Again, a cool effect if you are into mixed media. Another thing you can do is you can add glitter to this. Why would you want to add glitter? Somebody's asking, why wouldn't you? Who doesn't like a little extra bling? So again, I'm going to take this stencil. This is the Bees Hive stencil from Simon Hurley, by the way, if you're interested in it. Put the excess back in the jar. And I'm just going to take a little bit of glitter here. Let me grab a little. So you can make your own kind of glitter paste, and then once it dries, the glitter will be on top, and you'll have that color shining through the bottom. And because it dries pearlescent, it's going to be super shiny. So lots of fun things you can do with this paste. You can mix it, you can paint with it, you can use it through stencils, you can use it through on your gel plate, you can use it with the stamping foam, you can use it with mixed media. Someone's going to ask if we can foil it. Does anybody want to know if we can foil it? Why would you want to foil it? Somebody's going to ask. Well, remember I did the demonstration with the new geometry stencil, and I showed when you foil with paste, it kind of goes ups and downs, right? We have these hills and valleys, and the good part, the high parts of the gel will foil, the low parts will leave these valleys. Well, imagine if those were colored. How would they look if we foiled them? So let's try that out. Okay, guys, so I put the paste through these about 20 minutes ago. They're not completely dry yet, so I won't be able to foil these, but I wanted to show you how pretty they are. Again, this is through that geometry stencil from Simon Hurley, and you can see how super shiny and pearlescent that paste is. It does almost look like it's already been foiled, so we need to let that one dry a little bit longer. Here's another one. I did a mixed media kind of look to it. I used the basketball net to make this kind of netting through there. But I do want to check the stencil theory, so we are going to use a piece that's already been dried. So move these guys out of the way. Or sorry, the foiling theory. I'll set all these behind me so they can dry off. All right, I have my mini mink here. I'm going to turn mini mink up to, we're going to go to 4 because this is pretty thick cardstock. And we're going to foil this piece here. So I'm going to sacrifice my swatch piece just to see if we can foil it or not. I am going to cut this piece off the bottom because that is not dry yet. And I don't want that getting squished underneath. So here you can see the mixed paste and then the paste as it's painted on, and the painted on is dried already. This is not dry yet, but you can see how you can change the opaqueness just by adding some water there, but you do not lose any of that shimmer. Look at that. Very, very pretty. And it's not like it's glitter or mica in there. It's just very pearlescent looking. Like you don't see any chunks of glitter or mica. It's just very pearlescent. It's very sheer. All right, so we have our mini mink warming up on 4, only because this is pretty thick cardstock that I used when I swatched these out. These are completely dry. So you can see there all of the beautiful colors, and we'll just put a piece of foil on there and we'll see how it does. So this way, again, on the high parts of the paste, those will get foiled, and the low parts will not get foiled, but that beautiful color will come through from the paste. So you guys have now seen, let's see, through stencils, painting it, adding glitter to it. We'll see if there's foil on it. It is mixable. You can use it on your gel plate, and you can use it with stamping foam, and you can also heat it. So 7, 8 different ways that you can use this Lunar Paste. And I do believe it is going to foil. And again, you can pick this up at scrapbook.com. It's $5.39 for a 2-ounce jar of it. There are 5 different colors. Or you can pick it up at rangerinc.com for $5.99. Very comparable to the other pastes that are out there. Very shimmery, very pearlescent looking. And I do believe it does foil, folks. And there it is. So there you can see the high parts got foiled. The low parts didn't. So you can see how, again, if you are into mixed media, how you can have that color shining underneath. So here you have the red, and this is purple holographic foil. But you can see how cool that would be instead of just leaving it as clear. This is Ranger Texture Paste, which is clear, so all that black shows through, where if you do the Texture Paste, and the Texture Paste, by the way, does work on black as well. I've already made a card with it and sent it out, and I should have kept it as a sample. But it does work on black cardstock as well. It's just as shimmery and just as pretty on black as it is on white. Actually, I'll swatch it out here so you guys can see. And if you have any questions, post them down below. Let me know which way you like using your texture paste or lunar paste, whatever you want to call it. I think this is a pretty good idea for Simon to add this to his collection, especially with all the stencils that he has in his line. Or if you've never tried texture paste before, let me know what you think. So I'm just going to grab a little dab of this, wipe my spatula off. That's probably way too much. And if you don't have any of these spatulas, you can pick those up as well at scrapbook.com or also on Ranger. I love how vibrant these colors are. Very pretty. Again, think about your holiday stencils. Some of you guys are starting in July to work on your Christmas cards. You have red for berries. You have green for your, what do you call those? The, can't speak today, your wreaths and things like that. You have blue for snowflakes. You add a little glitter on top of those snowflake stencils. The gold, the yellow is goldish, very pretty for bells. But just overall holiday, these will be very pretty to put that through a stencil, put a little glitter and shimmer on there, or foil over it even. But you can do a lot with these, and you can see they show up just as well on black as they do on white. All right. So I hope you guys had fun with my demonstration. Again, let me know what is your favorite way to use texture paste. These are Lunar Paste from Mr. Simon Hurley. Again, the red is called Bee Sting. The orange is called Traffic Cone. We have Slippery When Wet, which is a goldish color. Later Gator, which is a beautiful green. And I think my favorite is the blue, which is Clear Skies. Thanks for watching, guys. If you have any questions, post them down below. I will put links down below if you'd like to support me through the affiliate links. I do appreciate that. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing to my channel. Thanks for watching, and keep on stamping. Bye, guys.